It took 36 years for Beetlejuice to get summoned again in this week's first teaser. So let's talk about the other horror sequels that took decades to get released, even if it meant flashbacks and erasing timelines. The Saw franchise has had plenty of sequels, with an 11th one due later this year. But the most recent installment, Saw X, went back to show us what happened between the first two films. It reveals how John Kramer grapples with his terminal cancer diagnosis in the weeks after slamming that door shut on Adam. John ultimately dies in Saw 3, but the time jump allowed Tobin Bell to reprise his role opposite Shawnee Smith's Amanda. Stanley Kubrick's take on Stephen King's The Shining is iconic, so it's no surprise it would take decades to fine-tune a follow-up. In fact, it took Stephen King 36 years to publish Dr. Sleep, making way for Mike Flanagan's film adaptation in 2019. With no returning actors, it follows Dan Torrance, now played by Ewan McGregor, wrestling with the trauma he experienced at the Overlook Hotel 40 years later. Halloween fans know we got our original sequel 3 years later in 1981, but if you're big on this franchise, then you also know it's produced multiple timelines. In 2018, David Gordon Green's Halloween erased all the preceding films to pick up 40 years after Laurie was first attacked. It even shrugs off the fact that they're siblings as a rumor, which is a line delivered by our new final girl and Laurie's granddaughter, Allison.